My
Yes,
director
sir.
sir has joined.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Sir, Director, good morning, sir. Can you hear me, sir?
Morning, morning.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, sir. Good morning, participants, dear faculty members, and all the staffs, those who have joined in this particular webinars. So, without wasting time, I'll hand over to our director, sir, to introduce today's event, that is webinars on opportunity in IT. Sir, please, sir, just put some views on this particular session.
Yeah, good morning, all of you. Today, as an auspicious occasion where we get to change to acknowledge the hard work of Teachers Day, and today we are celebrating Teachers Day as a birth of Dr. Sarvapalli Radhakrishnan, the second president of India, who himself was a teacher. Now, teachers, we all know that are pillars of country, and we in Bharati Vidyapit really feel fortunate because we are part of Bharati Vidyapit because it was started by our Honorable Sahab Dr. Patangrao Kadam, who himself was a teacher, and he brought this social transformation through dynamic education. So we all know the history of Bharati Vidyapit. We all know what Bharati Vidyapit Institute of Management at Kolhapur is doing. Today we thought of, why can't we call an alumni who has been part of our institute for long back, and at a junction where today he is at a position where he can talk to our students and motivate them and tell them the importance of role of teachers in their career. I take this opportunity to welcome our alumni, Mr. Gulab Hassan Nadaf, who is a senior architect of IBM Pune. I welcome you, Nadaf sir, for joining us to this webinar. We all know that due to this pandemic, we all are staying at home, staying safe, and this virtual lecture has been organized so that we all come together. Through this platform, at least we do come together and celebrate this auspicious day. I congratulate Alaskar sir for holding and organizing this webinar so that the students get motivated, the students feel that teachers do have a role to play in their life. And our teachers will also make a point that they are molding the students into future leaders, and they will try every bit and corner to see that our students get a beautiful, successful career ahead. I thank you for having me over here. Thank you very much. Over to you, Sushant.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your kind information. And our participants is eager to listen the introductions of today's distinguished speaker. So I would like to Dr. K. Malaskar sir, HOD, Computer Department. So to introduce the today's distinguished speaker. Yes, sir.
Good morning, everyone. Introduction of guest. Mr. Nadaf is from Karvir Taluka. Let me introduce from this side. He finished his MCA from our institute 2007, and after finishing of his education, and let me introduce in another angle the students, those who are from rural area. Some of them they are from Kolhapur, but many of them they are from rural area. Many of our students, those who are working in computer industry and in other industries also, they are from Kolhapur city nearby and rural area also. So doesn't feel that we are from rural area can't do this work. Remember the platform of this ID. Now see, during these days, is it any area is there, those who are working? It's a area of IT sector, computer sector, those who are working from home. Mr. Nadaf has completed his MCA 2007, then he joined the organization 2007, then 8. From 2010 till now, he is working with IBM. He studied his DCM from Shivaji University. After that, he joined MCA. After completion of MCA, immediately he got the job. Doesn't mean that the opportunities are not there. The opportunities are there, and it is there for all students of professional courses. So let me give the chance to the speaker. He will explore what it is required from the student side, the syllabus which is provided by the universities, but apart from this, what you have to do? He has done many projects during his career. He did many projects as far as the computer industry is concerned. Organization is concerned, they are handling many projects to these people, and he's handling these projects. Let me hand over charge to Mr. Nadav. Nadav, you can continue.
Sure. Thank you, Rajesh sir and Alaskar sir. So hope I'm audible to everybody now. So I'm
Yes,
just starting my session. Okay. So as briefed by Dr. Alaskar sir, okay, I have completed my MCA and I joined in Mumbai. Okay. I worked there for 4 years. After that, I joined IBM. So currently I'm working as a solution architect. Okay. So I've worked on the number of projects so far. Okay. So before going into the deep, what the careers available, okay. So I will just brief you what are the actually the opportunities or what are the sectors available in this IT. So from the basic, most of all you are aware of it, but since there might be some graduate students would be there in this session. So I'm just going in that direction first, and then I will explore what are the high-end technologies which are actually expected by the market. Okay. So first of all, at high level, if you see, our IT sector is broadly, divided into hardware and the software. Okay. So as this Bharati Vidyapeeth, the college actually from where I have passed out, and all you people are actually studying here, and you will study further in your career. Okay. So there we will be focusing mostly on the software stuff. Okay. So the software industry basically is divided into the two sectors. Again, it is sub categorized. Okay. So one is product based development companies, and another is service based service based companies, right? So for example, the IBM is one of the biggest service provider company in the world. Okay, you might be aware that it is exists in the market since more than 100 years. In year 2010, yeah, they have completed 100 years now. Yeah, so you can understand the strength of this company in this industry. Okay, I will explain you what actually IBM provides, and actually where you have to focus on these areas. Okay, so another type of the sector is the product based. Okay, the product based is nothing but kind of the companies like Amazon, Google. Okay, they are having their own search engine, right? So these are the kind of high level two sectors available in our software. Okay, so being a student, okay, we should not means actually first of all we have to identify our strengths. Okay, so opportunities are there. Okay, in every in both the categories, if I say it. Okay, so if you are interested in service industry, opportunities are there. If you are interested in the product based, okay, so still the opportunities are there. Okay, so say for example, this is the IT sector is the sector, okay, which is actually grooming nowadays, even though there is a lockdown and in this pandemic area. So even though in such a condition, okay, so the IT sector is still grooming. Okay, if you see the financial reports of the IT companies, still actually they are actually grooming, because at the end of the day, now we are actually replacing the human beings with the robots, the IT. So what is robo? Robo is nothing but what? It is a set of instructions, the whatever manual or the human beings, whatever are doing, that we will replace with the computers or the programs, whatever we call it as. Okay. So obviously there are the opportunities. Okay. So keep that in mind first. Okay. So now I'm just more focusing on the software part. Okay. So the what I have done so far, say I've started my career in the IT with the diploma. Okay, diploma in computer management from our institute. Okay, so I congratulate all of you that you are a part of this big BBIMK family. Actually, I am also proud that I am a part of this family. Okay, I did the DCM. Okay, so the DCM I did in 2001. At that time, if you see, that time all the software development life cycle is kind of a the waterfall model. Like we used to, means actually formally we don't do the architecture, but yes, architecture was there, then design, then development, and then coding and all this stuff. Okay, at that time we used to use at that time FoxPro 2.5 and then 2.6. Then we shifted to Visual Basic and then Visual C++. Okay, okay. So until MCA, I was working in Visual C++. Okay, but I realized that by just doing the diploma in computer management, I will not get the good job in the big companies. Okay, so even though actually Professor Alaskar sir knows, and whatever actually problems we face in our in our life or in our career, we used to discuss. Okay, with the Professor Dr. Alaskar, he's very cooperative teacher, and definitely I suggest all of you friends, whatever problem you are having in your life, with your career, with your academic or your personal, you should definitely approach Alaskar sir. Okay, so I discussed with this my mentors, and I decided to go for the MCA. Okay, actually at that time, yeah, I should actually mention this. Okay, actually I did MCA. It's due to the Bharati Vidyapeeth. Okay, and the vision of the late Dr. Patangrauji Kadam sir. Okay, so actually they are, so that great person has that vision, and that's why actually the students like us are able to complete the MCA. Okay, so first of all, whatever courses you are doing, let it be PCA, PCS, or some of you might be doing MCA, or might be first, second, third, whatever years you are doing. Okay, so whatever academic syllabus you are having, focus on that one. Even though you think that it is not relevant and it is not used in your IT career, it is not like that. For getting at least your CV will not be actually shortlisted if you don't have any master degree. So keep in that mind. Even though so whatever problems you are having, you approach Dr. Alaskar sir or our director sir, honorable director sir here, Kanti sir. So you have to approach them, sir. I have done this one and I have to do this. You have to do the master degree. Keep in that in mind. Okay, so whatever course you are doing right now, focus on your academic syllabus you are studying. Okay, even though it's maths or statistics. Okay, it will actually build your logic. Okay, see. So now, say for example, I am actually switching again to the real example. Okay, say if your logic is strong, okay, then you can work in any language. Okay, like I worked in FoxPro, but still I'm working in Node.js as well as Python also. Okay, I can code in Python. It doesn't matter for me what language actually I have to work. Okay, so whatever assignment is given by my senior manager, okay, I do that. Because why? Because the logic is strong. So your logic, how your logic will become strong, you know the theory behind that. Okay, so theory is actually, it is a base for you. Okay, you focus whatever you are studying, and yes, obviously there are the projects at the end of your semester. That semester I will actually touch base on that one, what projects you have to do, because I will touch base on the latest technologies that are used in the market. So that projects you have to focus. Okay, this is the basic thing. Okay, so I did my MCA, and actually I joined in the company, product based company. Okay, so we used to work for UK police, some incident management. Any incident occurs in the UK, that territory, that is being tracked and actually managed by our software. Okay, that was actually I shifted from the waterfall working methodology to the at that time in year I think 2008. Actually, I used to work in that agile sprints and iterations, right? So this say for we learned it in theoretical in our institute, but practically we worked in the organization. Okay, when I did the MCA, okay, I learned the agile. I I got the opportunity to work in the clients like UK. We are having the meeting with the UK guys at 2:30 p.m. Okay, there it's 5:30 minus our IST, right? So that way you can get the opportunities, right? So whatever you learn the theory, you will get an opportunity to implement it in the industry. Okay, so that, and their product-based company. So at that time, you might be aware, if you are from the .NET. Okay, since I was from Visual Basic and Visual C++, I got opportunity to work in the .NET framework. At that time, .NET framework 2.0 and 3.0 were launched. Okay, so we were actually working in the WCF, WPF, and all these technologies. Those were very hot at that time, and that since that is a product-based company, and we are supposed to migrate the some products also. So I got the opportunity to work, and also just to note that even though I'm not from the fully, actually I started my career as a science student, but after that, due to some reason, okay, I shifted to non-science branch, and still I in my that Rev Technology is the company, I developed algorithm there. Okay, and that algorithm we are appreciated by the UK client as well. Okay, and that was the very crucial module I was working, and I was appreciated. Okay, at that time, and how I got appreciated, that is a measure when I got the offer of IBM, and when I tried to left, when I decided to left Rev Technologies Mumbai. Okay, they it's during 2010, and you are aware that at that time recession were there. Okay, but if you are having the quality and the dedication, hard work, all these qualities, okay, so they have given me the offer, whatever IBM was giving to me, whatever asks or demands I've kept. Okay, all they were they promised me to satisfy those, but yeah, but I decided to go for the IBM. So the intention behind telling you these friends, you have to work hard, and whatever the branch you have come, you did the BCA or MCA. Okay, you are eligible. Okay, you don't underestimate yourself. Say, for example, in my each the project I'm working in IBM, there are IIT people are also working. Okay, and I am actually not behind them. Okay, so I'm getting the same rating these people are getting, or nearby the rating. Okay, it is not like that we are behind these people. So keep in mind that whatever you are doing, okay, you have to do the master degree, and you are the best because you are the part of the Bharati Vidyapit family. Okay, and yeah, so it's, I think I suppose it's enough to understand the significance of this one. Okay, so after that I joined the IBM. So as I moved from product-based company to the service-based company. Okay, so service-based company is what? So our client was Vodafone. Okay, you all people are using the mobile phones. So Vodafone started with the Hutch, and there earlier they were having some other tie-ups. Then they actually changed the Vodafone SR, and then Vodafone India, and then now Vodafone Idea. Okay, so I was there until Vodafone Idea. Okay, from 2010 to 2008. Okay, so I've worked there on the various projects like 3G, like you might be using the 3G, right? 3G, it were launched in year 2011-12. Okay, 3G, and then latest I worked. Actually, I was the architect from the IBM side for the OLT, voice over LTE. Okay, you might be seeing that actually the friends which are using the smartphone 4G connection, they can see the VoLTE VoLTE calls, like VoLTE audio as well as video calls. So from the Vodafone side, actually I was the architect for that. So end-to-end responsibility from IBM side, and most of the applications we are handled by the IBM. Okay, so that level of opportunities you will get. Okay, so it doesn't matter that from which stream you are come, but if you are having the confidence, you have the capability, you have intention to do the hard work, okay, honestly, then obviously you will get such opportunities out there. Okay, so from Vodafone, actually I joined for actually I got, see, again, let me just highlight this. As I was working nice out there, okay, in the Vodafone account, my manager, my people manager, actually shifted to other account, and he pulled me back, pulled me to his account. Okay, he recommended me to join the current account which I am working. Okay, so it's a kind of automation account. It is a IBM's automation sector altogether. So we are actually, our account is managing whatever automations which are done by the IBM, actually managed by our account. Okay, and for whatever automations they are doing, we are having that automation operations command center, that actually that product actually we are developing. Okay, so okay, so before going that, so you have to focus on whatever you are doing, and you will get the opportunities soon. Okay, so I will go through actually I'm just 5 minutes time left. Okay, so I will focus on the high-end technologies that you have to focus. First of all, your the academic syllabus. So there, suppose you are having C language, you learn C language. C++, you learn C++ language. Whatever language you are having Java, you learn Java. So these are the basic languages. Okay, even though these are not used, it is abstracted to you, but you have to learn it because your logic will be the first thing. And you might get opportunities to work in the C language. Okay, some system programming that is still done in the C language. Like so, means we cannot leave any subject as presuming it is not used. Right? You have to focus each and every language. Then the current. So say earlier, what if we used to develop the software in 15 years back, we used to take the software, whatever software we are having, 1.44 size floppy disk, or that big 100 MB drive. We used to take it to the client, okay, whatever clients at that time, and we we plug it and we copy our software, and then it is a kind of a client server, client server single machine or client machine deployment pattern we used to use at that time. But now, since the cloud, actually, you might have heard that now, actually, IT sector is actually using the clouds. Okay, the cloud is basically, so there are a lot of vendors in the cloud market. IBM is one of the biggest actually the stakeholder in this one, and the Amazon. Okay, Amazon, IBM, the Google. Okay, so these are the actually the leading in this cloud computing. So you should at least be well versed, or you should have, rather I will suggest you people, you do the certification. Okay, or you should know what is the cloud. Okay, and you should know at least Amazon or IBM or Google Cloud at least. So you have to do two cloud technologies. Okay, so you understood. So first you have to understand the cloud computing. Okay, what is the cloud? Okay, private, public. So theoretical as well as what specifically, like proprietary cloud, what actually they are providing the solutions. Okay, how they are doing the virtualization. Okay, how their virtual private network actually they are forming, right? So this kind of knowledge you should have. Okay, that keep in mind. Then if you want to go in the development, okay, then earlier, okay, when we started the career, so people used to say that I will do my career in database, so I will focus on the Oracle only. Okay, or I will focus on just application side, Visual Basic. Okay, but now actually the industry is more actually moving towards the OpenStack. Okay, so you should have the knowledge of database, okay, as well as the programming language, okay, and then UI also, right? So this level of language, the knowledge you should have in OpenStack. You note down this cloud computing, then OpenStack. What is OpenStack? Okay, if you people don't know what is OpenStack, then just mention it. Okay, and you after this session, you go on the Google and search what are these buzzwords. Okay, and you have to master in this one. If you want to go in the development, okay, obviously there are a lot of challenges. You have to learn the new things. Okay, because the IT sector actually is evolving at a rapid pace. Okay, pace. Okay, like the earlier we used to do call from the STD bus, but now we are not using STD bus, like it's disruptive. Okay, the innovations, we got the mobile, we're using the mobile. So similarly in IT sector also, we used to use the Fox Pro, but now nobody is using Fox Pro, right? So now it is OpenStack. So you go in that direction, you have to do work hard. Okay, then other option for the development is the testing part. Okay, so there are some testing guys are also there, okay, who test the software. Okay, so there is no time to explain what is testing and all this stuff. There is a testing also one segment where you can get the job. Also there are some supporting staff is required, right? Because you develop the software. Say for example, in the case of Vodafone, there are around more than 100 people working in the support itself. Okay, they don't need to do code or they don't need to test, but only they need to support it. Okay, say for example, I am having the billing system. Okay, myself, Nadav has developed the billing software, say for example, okay, and he has deployed it on the cloud or in the on-premise deployment. Okay, but actually so somebody is there to manage, right? Because currently I am doing my session here, but at the same time somebody is using that billing system, right? So there are 24/7 support guys required. Okay, these people actually get the less salary, but opportunities are there. Okay, so I will again come back why actually these actually jobs are becoming less, because and why, and you have to, as you are having time, okay, you have to invest your time into, you have to go ahead of the market, okay, so that you will get the opportunities easily. Okay, then now the microservices. Third thing what I'm telling to you is the microservices. Okay, earlier there were monolithic applications were there. Okay, if you have to change anything, you need to change the entire application, you need to build it, and then you have to deploy that exe or whatever .NET package you deploy. Now actually the industry is moving more towards microservices. You write down this microservices. Okay, so microservices, Google itself is using the thousands of microservices. Okay, when we do the search, okay, behind the scenes there are n number of microservices actually working their algorithm and all this stuff. Okay, and the microservices at individual microservices, okay, I'm not going deep into the microservices, because at individual one microservice is dedicated to one business logic, and only that service only we can scale. Okay, if more load is coming to our application, we can scale it automatically, like 10 pods or the 10 containers we can spawn, okay, in the cloud or whatever deployments you are doing. So that is the microservices you should learn, you should know, and you focus on that one. At least in your projects, you try to say for whatever program you are doing. Say for example, you are developing any small web application in .NET or in Java, JSP. You deploy it, you containerize it, Kubernetes, okay, Kubernetes. You write on that Kubernetes, and you can deploy it on the as a container there. Okay, microservices. So so try to understand that one. So now that industry actually is, so these are already there, and it is just the enhanced version of what we were doing. But now industry is moving more towards artificial intelligence. Okay, so the recommendation engines, right? So if you observe in YouTube, okay, I'll log in to YouTube, I get the different movies, right, or whatever videos we see, like some videos what I like, or earlier I have seen, or my age group, or similar pattern. Actually there are some algorithms, okay, which are applied, and that recommendation engine basically recommends you the the criteria. So that way the recommendation engine, what are the recommendation engines? Okay, for that you should be aware of the Python language. Okay, Python, you note down this. Even though Python is not there in your academic syllabus, you learn that Python language. It is actually used widely in almost every actually company nowadays. Python and Node.js. Okay, if you want to become the developer, okay, OpenStack developer, or the data scientist, or any this kind of development or product-based company, you should focus on the Node.js and Python languages. Okay, so there you are having the recommendation systems, predictive analysis, deep learning. Then we are having natural language processing, NLP we call it as. Okay, I'm speaking and automatically computer is understanding what I'm saying, and accordingly it is acting. Then we are having the machine learning systems. Okay, so whatever, so what programming is, what is the set of instruction. Now explicitly we have to provide the commands to them, right? But we are having the now machine learning system, so they learn itself. Okay, so IBM actually leading in this machine learning systems. They are having IBM Watson APIs they have developed, so you can look into that area as well. Then image analysis, so video surveillance is actually applied now. Basis on that one, its analysis is done. Then so there are related actually there are a lot of actually innovations has done, and as well there is a very opportunities are there. And also last but not least, actually say, so what is the software? Software is the automation of the manual work. Now the industry is becoming more mature. Okay, so they are replacing now the developed programs with the automation RPA technology bots. They are calling as a robot. Okay, so it is the RPA technology. You note down this RPA, robotic process automation. So there are various actually the companies who have developed their own tool to do the automation, like Blue Prism, then UiPath, Automation Anywhere. So these are the three actually used widely in the market. Blue Prism is actually the licensed version, but UiPath is open source. Okay, so you should know what is open source, what is closed source, right? So the .NET or the Microsoft, okay, is the actually closed source. Okay, anybody cannot change the Microsoft operating system or .NET framework. But yes, Linux you can change. Now Node.js, you can write your own modules, right? So you should know what is open source technologies like Node.js. So you have to focus on these areas, and definitely if you at least at high level, these are the artificial intelligence and robotic process automation. So these are the two actually sectors which are actually driving this IT world now. And yes, there is the cloud computing as well. So I think that's
time it is about to bring. Yeah, good. Good.
Yeah.
Yes, thank you, sir, Nadab sir. Myself, Sushant Kumar Nayak from Bharati Vidyapeeth Institute of Management, Kolhapur. I extend my thanks to Nadab sir because he has shared so many important things which will be helpful to our students. And we know as you have alumni of these institutions, and you have great things to do in near futures also. If we want your extended cooperations in future also, I think you may not deny this, and it will be a very good assets for our students. This all information is valuable to our technological students. So now, out of all these sessions, we have gained so many things from. Because as we know, the technical persons, they can guide very effectively those who are working in MNC's company. And as you are working in IBM, so it is our opportunity to listen, and it is our privilege to listen to you in this regard. So I can extend my thanks to our director sir, HOD sir, and all staffs, those who have supported in this particular session. And without them, we may not have this type of effective sessions, most probably. So now I can sincerely thanks to all my dear students, those who have participated in this, and other participants also, those who have sincerely involved and sincerely listened your valuable information in this particular session. On this occasion of Teachers' Day, we have planned, and HODs or directors have planned that we can you can invite a professional who are in best in their life in the MNC or in the software field. So once again, I extend my heartiest thanks to you, Nadab sir, because you have shared so many things in this particular limited durations of 40 minutes durations as Zoom provides. Okay, thank you. And I have received so many text messages, the doubts. So having this time limitations. Okay, after a few sessions we can conduct. Dear students, no doubt, we'll have a number of sessions from different technical experts, so your doubts can be resolved. I think because of the time limits, we cannot proceed for that discussions, because we have to
Yes, sir.
again so many things. Thank you, sir.
Good. Good.
And thank you
Thank
to
Thanks,
all.
guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.